Hey, welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. In our previous videos about strings, we have discussed so many things, right? So we have discussed about strings, we have discussed about indexing and slicing, and also string concatenation, string multiplication, string comparison, and also discussed about strings immutability. So in this video, we will be discussing some of the methods that we are having in here to understand more clearly about strings. So when we are using indexing and slicing, when we give the indexes, we will be getting the some part of the strings, right? We will be getting the substrings. So by using these methods, when we give substring, we can able to get the indexes. So let us go ahead and see how they works. So here I have a string which is a subscribe here. So I will take the same example in order to illustrate all of these methods here. So for that reason, what I will be doing is that I will be taking this string and I will assign this particular string with subscribe here. So we have this string which is subscribe. By using this, we can able to understand this particular methods. So we have this particular find here. So by using this find, what we can actually do is that when we pass a element or a substring, we can able to get the indexes. So for that reason, to understand clearly, I am taking this string, which is what the variable that we are having, and I am calling this particular method or what we can consider as function by passing this particular, let's say, s here. I will pass s here, and now if I execute this, we can able to get the index which is 0, because in the first occurrence itself here we are having s. So for that reason we are getting this particular result which is 0. Let's say I will pass some other thing, some other element which is b here. So if I execute this, we can able to get the index which is 2 here. So by using this find, when we pass a character or a substring, we can able to get the index. Let's say when we pass simply s, we are getting 0, right? So what if I pass su, still we can able to get the 0, because this is substring su starting in here. So now if I pass sc, we can able to get the index which is 3. So because SC substring is starting in here, in this particular position, in this particular indexes, right? So for that reason we are getting 3. So by observing all of this example, we can came to a conclusion that how this find works in such a way that when we pass a substring, the first occurrence of this substring will be given as a result, which is nothing but the index of that particular substring. So when we don't find the substring inside of a string, let's say I will give something which is sr. This combination of sr substring does not have in this particular string. So now if I execute this, we can able to get the result as output as -1. So if the substring present inside of a string, we can able to get the first occurrence of the index. If the substring not present inside of the string, we can able to get the result which is -1. So I hope you can able to understand how this find works. So in a nutshell, if the substring exists, it will give first occurrence from left to right. So whenever it finds the first occurrence, it will give the index starting position, index of that particular substring. So if doesn't find, it will give -1. So let us go ahead and understand this particular rfind here. So in this particular find, we are coming from left to right? So for that reason, we are getting this particular starting index. So in this particular rfind, what we will be doing is that we will come from right to left. So for that reason only, we can use this particular rfind here. So I will take the same example, which is string, to understand this particular rfind here. So now what I will be doing is that I will call this particular string and rfind here. And let's say if I give s, previously when we give s in here, we are getting index which is 0, right? So now in this particular rfind, what I will be doing is that I will give the same s here and observe the difference. We are getting 3, because in this particular find, it will be coming from left to right. Because of that reason, we are getting 0. In this particular rfind, we are coming from right to left, which is from here at the end of the string we are coming. It was found at this particular index which is 3. Because of that reason, it was giving the result which is 3 here. So I hope you can able to understand the difference between find and rfind. and here also we can able to mention the substring. If I mention su here, we can able to get this particular 0 because this particular su substring only present at the beginning of the string. Because of that reason we are getting this particular 0 here. So if I mention sc here, so we can able to get the 3 because this particular sc present inside here only. Here only the substring, exact substring is present. So for that reason it was giving that particular exact index. So as like that, this particular substring does not present. Let's say I will give st here. So this particular substring does not present inside of this particular as a whole. So for that reason, if I execute this, it was giving the result which is -1. So if the substring does not present, the both find and rfind will give -1. If the substring is present, find will give the result from left to right first occurrence. In the rfind, we will be giving the result from right to left first occurrence. I hope you can able to understand the difference. So let us go ahead and see this particular index and how this index works. So I will take the same example here, and if I call this particular string dot index here, and I will pass something like same s here, and if I execute this, we are still getting this particular 0. So this particular index and find works in a similar fashion. When we found that substring inside of a string, we can able to get the first occurrence of that particular index. So you can observe here we are getting 0, and here also when we pass s, we are getting 0. Let's say if I pass su, and here also I will pass su, and here I am executing this particular find here, and here I am executing this particular find which is 0. So the functionality remains same. If I give instead of su, I will use sc which is present here. What I will be getting is that I will be getting 3 here. So the same fashion here, if I give sc here, I can able to get 3 because by this we can able to understand this particular find and this particular function which is index works in a similar fashion. But the difference is that we need to have a difference when we have different methods, right? So if there is no difference, there is no meaning of implementing different functions. So let's say if I give something that is some substring that is not present inside of a string, let's say I will give se here. Se is not presenting inside of this particular string. So now if I execute this, we are getting value error. It was saying substring does not found. So I will give same se here, which is not present in this string also. We can able to get -1. So now this is the difference that we have with respect to find method and index method. When we pass a substring that is not present inside of a string, we are getting the value error in index which is saying string is not found. Here in find, when we pass the substring that is not present, we are getting the result which is -1. This is the difference that we have between find and index. So let us go ahead and see and understand this particular R index. R index and this particular R find works similarly. The difference is that as like find and index, when we have this particular element substring does not present inside of a string, we will be getting the error which is value error. That is the only difference, except that remaining is same. So here I am taking this particular subscribe, and here I am using this particular R index here. So when I pass some, let's say s here, the same s, so we can able to get the result which is 3, because from right to left it will be evaluated. Whenever a substring occurs from right, the first occurrence of that substring index it will be returning. So if I pass sc, it will give 3, because here the only place we are getting this particular sc. Let's say if I pass su here, we can able to get 0 because su substring present only here. So by this we can able to understand this particular R index, evaluate the string, and when the substring present from right to left, the first occurrence will be returned. If I give some string that is not present, some substring, say sc, it was giving the same value error that what we have got with respect to index. So now I hope you can able to understand the difference between rfind and rindex, index and find and all of these methods. So in a nutshell, if you wanted to put everything, this find and index work same. It will evaluate the substring from left to right. Whenever a substring found inside of a string, the first occurrence will be returned from find and index. If does not find, if that particular substring does not found, this find method returns as -1, but whereas this particular index returns a error, which is value error. In a similar fashion, rfind and rindex, in rfind, the evaluation, the searching of the substring happens from right to left. Whenever that is found, whenever a substring is found inside of a string, it will, the rfind will give the index of that particular first occurrence, whereas rindex will return the similar fashion the first occurrence from right to left. But wherein if the substring does not found in rfind, it will return -1, whereas rindex will return an error, which is value error. You can observe in here. One more thing we need to understand with respect to all of these functions, which is by simply mention this particular substring, we are searching the whole string, right? So what if we wanted to only search in a specific indexes, in between of a specific index, that we can do. So let us go ahead and see how we can do that. So for that reason, I will take a string 1 here, string1, and what the string I will be taking is that this video is interesting. So I am taking this particular string, which is this video is interesting. Here we can able to see is present in here, and also is present in here. So now what I will be doing is that I will pass string 1 dot find, and inside of this I wanted to find this particular is here. So now if I execute this, we are getting 2, because here in this particular this string PHI, here we are able to find. Because of that reason, first occurrence is happening here only. Because of that reason, we are getting 2 here. So but what I wanted to do, what I want is that I want to ignore the first occurrence, or I wanted to start this particular counting, start searching of this particular is from these positions, which is this particular V here. So for that reason, we can actually mention that using an integer after this particular parameter, which is the substring. So now for that reason, I wanted to search with this particular V, right? So for that reason, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is index 5. So from fifth index, I wanted to find this particular is till this particular end of the string. So now if I execute this, we are getting the position which is 11, because in here after this particular video we are getting this substring is. For that reason, we are getting this particular 11, that is exact index of this particular is here. So what if I wanted to mention the end also? So I don't want to go till this particular is, I wanted to go till some specific index only. Let's say I wanted to go till 9 only. So from 5 I wanted to go till 9. So if I execute this, we can able to get -1, because the index ranges from 5 to 9. We cannot find any substring which is. So for that reason, as it isn't found, we are getting the result which is -1 here. If I mention, let's say 13 here, from 5 to 13 we are searching this particular is instead of this particular string, and if I execute this, it was giving the 11. That is what the index that we have got. So now I hope we can able to understand this particular find with this particular starting and ending. So this works similarly with all of these things. So in rfind also we can see the similar functionality, and if I execute this, and here I need to mention r, right? So for that reason, and if I execute this, we are getting 11 here. So now if I default not mention anything, if I execute this, we are getting 11, which is the first occurrence from right to left. So for that reason, we are directly getting this particular 11. If I mention, this is what we are getting after this video, we are getting this. I don't want this. I wanted to start from index, let's say 2 here, let's say 1 here, and I wanted to go till 5. So if I execute this, we are getting 2, because after this particular, this in this range of 5 to 1, we are got only one, this is here. So For that reason, we are getting the index which is 2. So now I hope you can able to understand this particular passage of ranges starting and ending. So if we don't find the string, we will be getting a -1 here. I will mention 3 here so that we can able to get a -1, which means that it didn't found the substring inside of the string. So the same thing works in index also, but a little different. We know that, right? So the difference is we will get to know. So here I need to mention index here. I need to pass this particular is. If I directly pass is, we know the result which is 2. The first occurrence from left to right. If I give the range, let's say 4 to 9, we will get the index error because from the range 4 to 9 we don't have any substring is. For that reason we are getting value error saying substring does not found. If I give, let's say, 12 here, we are still getting. If I give 13 here, we are getting the exact position which is 11 here. Why we are getting index error which is this particular value error when we give 12? Because when we mention this end parameter, this is considered as an end parameter. This 4 is considered as start parameter. From start to end, we are searching this particular substring. So when we give this particular 12, it actually does not go till 12. It only go till 11 index only. The how many number of indexes here we are mentioning, it does not go till that particular index. Will only -1 index only. It will go till -1 index only. For that reason, till 4 to 11, we don't have anything. So for that reason, we are getting. If I mention 13, we are getting 11. In the 11th index, we have I. In the 12th index, we have is. But still, if we mention 12 here, we are not getting the result because it will go till the 11 only when we mention 12. So when we mention 13, it will go till 12th index. Because of that reason, it was identified this particular substring. It was given the result which is 11. So I hope you have found the difference and importance of this particular end parameter. We should not mention the exact end. We should mention +1 so that it will go to the exact position. So if we don't find this, we will be getting the error. We have seen that, right? So we will see this particular thing with rfind so that we can able to complete this particular things. So here I need to mention r index. So here now if I execute this, we can able to get the 11. By default only we can able to get 11. But if I mention the range from, let's say, 1 to 5, we can able to get the index 2, because in this particular range we have got this particular is, right? So now I hope you can able to understand all of this function. That is what we have discussed. One more important thing, which is how to know a specific string starting with a specific substring, and how to know a specific string ending with a specific substring. That we will be discussing in our next video. So thank you for watching this video. To stay updated with my latest videos, hit the like button, and to stay updated with my latest videos, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications to all so that whenever I upload any video, you will get the notification. So see you in the next video.